Welcome to Rhinos and Aliens. Tardigrades? What is this, are you guys asking? What the fuck? What's that?
Tardigrades?
Yes, that's how you pronounce it. I even looked that one up. It might be the most resilient organism on planet Earth. It was first discovered in 1983 by a Japanese scientist in Antarctica in frozen moss. These millimeter animals look like a cross between caterpillars and teddy bears. Teddy bears. Which is why they're sometimes called
animal shits.
Water bears. These organisms were kept in frozen state for 30 years until 2014. When they were unfrozen, they came back to life. So the scientists reported they were dead, and then they literally came back to life and reproduced like nothing ever.
Oh my goodness. I love shit like this.
Let me see.
I love it.
Let me see.
It's so ugly and cute at the same time, and it's only like a millimeter.
Ugh. These shits remind me of the Men in Black.
I actually think Men in Black got inspiration from that, by the way.
Them shits is ugly. Cute.
Well, some people think...
Because they're little? Is that why?
It's a millimeter.
Well, some people think mentally... the proper whatever term that is, they look cute too. So, hey, that's...
What?
People do, because they just slow like that.
Something
You're
that's
right.
so ugly.
You're
That
right.
Excuse me?
No, the people, not them, not them. The people. The people are slow for thinking that.
I'm slow? I'm just saying, like, I ain't got no beef today. I don't get it. That's what I was about to say. Like, what's going on? All right, what we talking about? Okay, what about them?
Okay, getting back to it, when they were unfrozen, they came back to life and reproduced as if life never stopped. These animals can quite literally survive in all conditions. They have been discovered in every single ocean, in every single continent, in every single climate, and every single latitude elevation. This is due to entering a special state called cryptobiosis, where they tuck in their legs and expel all the moisture from their body. In this stage, their metabolism reduces 99.99%.
Them niggas dry themselves out like raisins.
Yo, right though. Like,
No,
They
exactly.
hibernate.
Or a better way to put it, they release a mummifying sugar and go into a mummifying state. This process explains how these creatures can survive being frozen for decades, and they can even survive the radiation and the vacuum of outer space. It's been tested that they could survive for at least multiple weeks. And by the way, that vacuum in outer space, the pressure surpassed 87,000 pounds per square inch, which, to put this in perspective, is 6 times more pressure than the deepest parts of any ocean.
That's fucking nuts.
yeah, that's crazy.
And they can withstand
That's
temperatures
so they're super organisms.
Yeah.
and they can withstand temperatures of negative 350 degrees and
If they tuck
upwards
their
of
legs in.
300 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can't burn them and you can't freeze them.
Yeah.
Step on.
So another way to put this in perspective, when people say if apocalypse wipes out most of life on the planet, roaches will be the last living thing known.
Technically.
Actually, they're wrong. It would be these tardigrades will be the last known thing surviving.
Tardigrades.
They're just impossible to kill. Tardigrades are impossible to kill.
Only if they tuck their legs in.
Well, they have to go into that metamorphosis state.
So if they're not, then you can kill them by burning them, right?
Well, I don't have enough. I didn't do research on.
No metamorphic, cryobiosis.
Oh yeah, cryobiosis.
They're going into a cryo state, like a state of suspended animation.
Stasis.
basically,
Yeah.
called ton. That's
Yeah.
what it's called. It's called
And
ton.
did you see what it looks like? To where it's like this shell. It's almost like a cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like garlic. I told you. It looks like the drink off of Men in Black. That shit is nasty. He was talking.
When I was looking at them, I was trying to figure out what their purpose was on the planet. Like, you made something that can just survive for 30 plus years. It can't be killed. And the way it produces, it reproduces either the female reproduces sexually when the female will actually drop eggs and then the male will actually fertilize those eggs, or it reproduces asexually where the female just drops the eggs and the eggs fertilize themselves.
Well, the way I'm thinking about that, they probably it's a win-win. To where if there's any males around, then they're going to let the males do what they're programmed to do. But if they're not, fuck them.
Got you. But what is their purpose on this? And they feed off of algae and lichen. So it's
And they live in just moss.
They live all the way down. Basically,
I mean, I know they live in different places, but I'm saying like, what do they? Where all do they live? Like
They live
lakes.
everywhere.
Every
Bottom,
single-
the
like,
bottom
okay.
of lakes is what they said. They basically, or the basis of
but they
organisms.
But they
human
live
life.
they live anywhere where their human where their feeding source is, which is why they said they've been found everywhere. There's been some found in high altitudes where there's no water at all. Well, in terms of ponds and lakes and that sort. But this is the other question. What has ever been created that can survive all areas on Earth, but also to at least some degree survive in space?
that shit is weird. as
That's
fuck.
deep.
That shit is deep.
They're
That shit is
aliens.
deep. Not only are you surviving fucking
That might be
the
a good
cold
one.
and the heat, you surviving fucking pressure, tons of pressure, fucking all types of shit.
No, but-
like, come on now.
But that's a good. There could be a case that these are alien species because it's not the fact that they could survive the deepest pressures of water. They could survive the outer space
Space,
pressure,
right.
which is unlike anything on planet Earth.
right.
So what? How can a species on Earth adapt to the pressures of
Of
outer
space.
space without coming?
Actually being there or coming from space.
That just blew my mind. That just blew my mind.
That's just a theory. That's a thinking process. That's a hypothesis.
Yeah.
Specifically, the outer space situation, a group of scientists or astronauts went to space, and scientists had the astronauts bring a
Container. yeah.
container of these.
I don't think they did that.
Bro, they did.
I think they just replicated space, and space is just a vacuum. You can just,
No, but for this, the one of the articles I read,
They actually took it outer space.
yes, I just didn't
gotcha.
put that into the
Gotcha.
paragraph. I just summed it up.
Okay. Still want to know what their purpose is.
But that's the thing. If they actually are aliens, how do you judge their purpose? Well, for example, because you know when humans travel from continent to continent, they bring unintended species to a continent, unnatural species. For example, the snakes in Florida, what is it, pythons? They're taking over. What if maybe humans are from alien DNA, and when the aliens came over, one of their species is a tardigrade, and it just happened, since they're so small, they were in whatever spacecraft that came to planet Earth, and they just happened to come. The thing that blows my mind, forget where they live in the 30 years, they can survive for at least multiple weeks in outer space with that type of pressure.
Unlike us.
A species can't evolve if it doesn't have the environment to evolve in.
How can they?
How do you
yeah.
adapt to space?
How can you survive somewhere you've never been? Like somewhere like you literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how can something become, as example, fire repellent if it's never been around fire? That just, from an evolution perspective, that doesn't compute.
Makes sense.
If you want to subscribe, just hit this bad boy up here, that big fat rhino. If you want the newest video, to the right. If you want the recommended, to the left. And then, of course, our personal dick pic. Yep, right below. So thank you for joining us once again, and we hope to see you next week. So peace out.
Peace.